I remember this incident like it happened yesterday. It's still in memory. I had received my report card in school and I'd done very well in science, my favorite subject. In fact, I had topped the class and I had never topped the class before in my life. So I was feeling very proud of myself, very proud of my achievement. So I took the report card, went home with the swagger and showed it to my dad. My dad took the report card, he looked at it intently and he said, I still remember these words, and he said, 65 in math? I was taken aback. I was depressed. I was dumbstruck. I was hoping that he would focus on my science score. I topped the class. But instead he focused on my math score. Toastmasters. Yes. How many of you have gone through this experience? How many of you have gone through this experience of having the people you love the most, your loved ones, focus more on what you're not good at as opposed to what you're good at? Deepak Ravi is like this. If you're one of those parents, then you're not alone. If you're one of those people who focuses more on a person's weakness, you're not alone. 77% of the respondents to a survey in the US, UK, France, Germany, Japan and China, these are all parents, all of them said that they would focus more on a child's weakness rather than his strengths. I think that's a real tragedy. I think it's a real tragedy to go through life as a kid to have your parents focus on your weakness. What happens when we grow up? What happens when we finish school, college, and we enter the workplace? In school, we have report cards. In the workplace, we have something called the appraisal form. Right? Some of you have appraisal forms. And these appraisal forms are very funny things. They have two columns. On the left, there is strengths. Right? And on the right, there is something called opportunity for improvement. OFI. It's as if your strengths are only your strengths, this undynamic thing that doesn't change. And your weakness, that's where you can improve. Notice the focus on weakness in the report card. Notice the focus on weakness in the appraisal form. It's as if there's a worldwide conspiracy to make sure that we focus more on our weakness and forget our strengths. Why does this happen? Why this primeval focus on weakness? I believe there are three reasons why these things happen. Three myths that every human being is fed into. Myth number one. As I grow older, I become a different person. My weakness, strengths change. He doesn't get maths, but that's okay. Let him study BSc math. He'll get used to it. Wrong. As you grow older, you become more of who you really are. As you become older, your strengths, they remain the same. Your weakness, they remain the same. Example, Bill Gates. Bill Gates is very good at writing applications, converting them into user-friendly software that people can use. He is not good at running a company the size of Microsoft against litigation, against financial pressure. Steve Ballmer is good at that. And therefore, Bill Gates has found his niche. He's a technology evangelist and he's found his niche. He doesn't change over time. He found his niche. He found his strength. Myth number two, and by far this myth is the toughest to break. This myth says that when I work for a team, I need to give both my strengths and my weakness, everything I've got, to the team. Wrong. When you work for the team, you have to give your best, your strength. Best case in point, best example, Saurav Ganguly. This guy is one of the best left-handed batsmen in the world. On the offside there is God and then there is some Saurav Ganguly. But he is not a good leader. He is not a good captain. Very political. But he wanted to give everything to the team, everything he's got. his political skills, his batting skills also. But the fact is, his batting skills are the skills that the Indian team required more than anything else. Myth number 3, and this myth I've spoken about, I improve the most in the area of my weakness. Wrong. You improve the most in the area of your strength. You're good at something, find it, and you will improve the most in that area. Okay, I've tried to educate you on the myths that pervade society about strengths and weakness. But how do you identify your strengths? I'm not going to give a huge, that itself is a speech on its own, but I'll give a very short couple of sentences about identifying your strength. Where do you look for a strength? SIGN, sign. This is the formula that I use to look for a strength. Success, S. Somewhere you've succeeded. Something you're good at. Where there is a past record of success. That's a good place to look for a success. Strength. I, instinct. Something that you know you're good at. Where you don't need external validation. You just have a gut feeling that you're good at this. I, instinct. G, growth. Something that as you do, gives you personal growth. That's a good place to look for a strength. N, need. Something that satisfies an internal need. Could be something like philanthropy. Something that satisfies an internal need. I hope this speech, even if you don't take anything else away from the speech, just take this. I'm not asking you to ignore your weakness. I'm not asking you to completely forget your weakness. But focus on your strengths and work around your weakness. Thank you.